If you're looking to hit the ball past your playing partners this season, then we need to get a few things right when we're at setup. Again, guys, today on Get Good at Golf, we are talking driver. We are talking about hitting the ball further, hopefully hitting the ball straighter and lowering your scores. And guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure if you want to improve your golf, hit that subscribe button for your weekly, daily content for getting good at golf. So let's talk about what we see with the driver. Now, one big thing we see with driver is posture. Posture is killing a lot of people because often we see people a long way away from the golf ball. From here, we start to see that club potentially work a long way in, and then we see people having to manipulate it from here. We stand up, lose our angles, and then we're constantly trying to refine those to get back down to the golf ball. And we often see poor strikes. We often see balls that quickly go out to the right. We often see extremely quick lefts, or we see the shot that comes off that part of the club. We often see the top. We don't get good contact with the golf ball. We potentially don't get past those tees right there in front of us, and that's because of your setup. As a result, you might have a playing partner who does that, and then we start to see those guys who go, okay, I've been told to stand a little bit more upright, so I'm going to get nice and tall. Arms are matching the shaft. It all looks like one. And then again, from here, we already have got a flat shoulder plane. From here, I'm not in an athletic position. It's going to be very hard. I can't even see the golf ball to get back down and make contact. And how many times we see people come back like this? A lot of loft, club face either open or even maybe closed, but we're adding loft, and we then start to see that we're losing a lot of distance. We want a penetrating ball flight with this club. We still want to be hitting up on the golf ball, but we also still want to be taking a little bit of loft off that club. So we're hitting up, taking loft off, and what we are doing there is pressuring that golf ball. If we pressure that golf ball, we can have a little bit more control of that face, whether it opens or closes, and we can also have more control on obviously what kind of loft is presented. We want it to be more like this, not like this that we often see. Because a lot of people then, as we all know, you'll be stood behind the screen or sat behind the screen thinking, well, yeah, but I can just get a different driver. I could potentially get 9 degrees instead of 10.5 because I'm hitting it too high, or maybe I could even get an 8-degree driver, and we know that's not always the answer. So from here, how do I get into that perfect setup? So first of all, we want to have the hands or the arms hanging from our shoulders, and we should be able to just touch our knees. So we're in a nice strong position there. And then from here, how many times I see arms that are rigid just like this? Well, we want to start to see that if I was to have my sleeve up there, we're going to be able to see this part of your forearm. So the inside of your arm here, that arm is now rotated in, and you'll see that what that does is that gets this arm a little bit of flex in it and connected to my chest. So I'm in a good position there to be able to, if I was to rotate through, that's the kind of position I want to see at impact. I want to see this little bit of bend in your arm. We are now pressuring it. If I get my arm on top, you can see for me to get into that same position, I'm going to have to move in all sorts of ways. I'm now close to the target, club face is open. So what do after I hit a few into the right trees? I often then close the hands, and you'll see that then we are going to hit an extremely quick left. So making sure that not only are we the right distance from the golf ball, but also what our arms are doing. So that forearm being facing up and be able to see the inside of that arm is going to allow us to be able to get into the right positions. And you can see there starting up the right and drawing into the left side of that fairway. It's a relatively easy thing to do, and you'll say that, well, it's not easy to obviously hit longer drives because what else could potentially be going wrong? Well, that's what we need to think about, because obviously, yes, you could be the right distance from the ball. Yes, we could get that right arm in a good position to be able to pressure that golf ball. So we should be ticking a lot of boxes. But where is our ball position? Because how many times I see ball position sneak back. Because why does it sneak back? Often we're using an iron more than we're using a fairway wood or a driver. So I often see that you've maybe just hit a nice 8-iron into the last green. You've got driver out, I've teed it up. I know I need to hit up on it. Right, straight away there, that ball position now is, if we drop the club, just in front of centre. Perfect for your 8-iron, perfect for your 6-iron, perfect even for your pitching wedge depending on what shot you're playing. but not perfect for this driver. What that's going to encourage you to do is that club is still going to be working on the way down. So straight away, it's not got to its low point. So we're hitting down onto the golf ball, which is going to add backspin. And it is also potentially working out to the right. So that club face could be open, or if you've done this for a long time, again, you'll start to manipulate it with your hands. Will start to close that club face down. And then it comes down to timing, and you might have a round. Think about this. Do you have a round where you absolutely smoke your driver, you hit it 20 yards past your friends, you think, do you know what, I've fixed it. I don't need a new driver, I've got it in the slot. You then play on the Sunday in your Stableford and you lose 5 or 6 balls off the tee. It's quickly out of the slot. That is because you might have got the timing correct, but the next day we've lost that timing. So we know now we're in that posture with my arms hanging loose. We've got that right arm so I can see that. But now if I get that golf ball in the right ball position, if I drop that club, you can see now just inside of that left heel. So my sternum's behind the golf ball. That's going to now allow me to be able to hit up on that golf ball and commit to that shot, which is exactly what it is designed to do with this club. So don't be messing around with the loft on your club. You need to think about these points to hit the ball further this year. So let's get into those checkpoints. We're going to get your ball position right so we can start just like you'll have seen many times. We're going to start with our feet together. I'm going to take a very small step with the left foot, and then my right foot comes back, and that sets my ball position. So we've got the first big tee. We've got the ball position correct. From then, we obviously talked about having our arms hanging low, so you can see that my arms are just nice and relaxed under my shoulders. So we've got mark 2. And then the last thing I want you to check is that this right arm, we can see the inside of your forearm. If we can't and it's over in this position, we know we're struggling straight away. So let that come round nicely. Let's see the inside of that forearm, and then from there we can just commit to your shot. We can start to get that ball launching again up the right hand side there with a little bit of draw going onto the right hand side of the fairway. So we're ticking a lot of boxes there. But how many times I see people fall out of balance? So balance is one big thing. And how many times we get comments saying that it doesn't matter if you're in balance, it doesn't matter if you're in your finished position at the end. Scotty Scheffler likes to move his feet. He's a one-off to say the least. Jim Furyk, again, a swing that maybe we wouldn't suggest for you, but again, a person that was in balance. But for us as PGA pros and for yourselves, the best way to get feedback is for you to be able to break down why you potentially missed a shot. If you've fallen, if you've hit a ball out to the right, for example, we might see that you're in that position there. How many times do me and James see people feet in the exact same position, hips and chest pointing to the right, and the head is looking down the hole. So you're looking down the hole, but that's not where we want to be. So we need to think about, right, if I've then hit one left, we often then see that somebody might be in this position. There's one man and myth that is mid-handicap Dave, who often finishes in that position, and he often finds that side of the golf course. So if we can get you into that solid finish position where you are turned through to your target, we're going to be better able to know why you potentially hit a shot, and if you are having lessons, what you need to do to fix that. If I'm in balance, I'm going to have more control of giving myself feedback. And if I can give myself feedback, you can see there a nice draw again just down the left hand side. I'm turned through, weight is on the left. You can see the bottom of my shoe. I've transferred my weight. And if I do this, I can break down exactly what's happened. We're going to get you hitting the ball further, past your playing partners, and hopefully getting good at golf.